Alright, hey, what's up, guys? This is Del here, and today we're going to be checking out the Comet Technologies Red Comet 1100 kit. And this is a plastic model kit based off the Takumi conversion kit, which I believe is made of plastic, but it still requires you to go buy a Bandai kit for the inner frame or a third-party metal frame. And let me just start off with saying, it's going to get rough towards the end. Getting into the box here, we have some cool line art of the Sinanju on the front, and that's all she wrote as far as stuff on the outside of the box. Popping it open, we're going to find a total of 34 runners. These coming in dark gray, red, a darker maroon color, gray, plated gold, plated chrome, clear green, clear yellow, light gray, and white. Followed by our instructions, water slides, and lastly this little baggie of springs and metal parts for the tubing on the kit. And before we start building, we gotta look at these instructions. Opening it up, we're gonna get some text that I cannot read, the list of runners, and then immediately into the build, which is printed in large and clear text. Also, it does indeed list the runners we'll need for each part. Now for the actual build. Since this was a conversion kit made plastic model kit, the inner frame is a copy of Bandai's Master Grade Sinanju kit, as far as I can tell. I sadly don't have one for comparison's sake, but everywhere I look confirms this. That being said, I heavily recommend a third-party metal frame for this kit. I believe Iron Toys makes one, but this inner frame has some issues, that mainly being the hip joint. It was really tight before I took it apart and sanded down the inside, and even then it's still really snug, and the peg that attaches to the leg doesn't feel sturdy at all, and I'm scared of breaking it. Also, when plugging the peg into the waist, you need to apply a lot of pressure to get the snap into place. The next issue I'm going to bring up is the undergating on the plated gold and chrome parts. It could be better. Just looking at the kit, you'll see little pot marks on these parts, so you need to strip and repaint these to get a completely clean look. But on the other hand, I'm just happy to have color separated gold sleeves on this kit, as I'm still waiting on Bandai to drop a new Sinanju with the separation of the new Steinverka. Okay, just two little more issues to talk about. The spring for the tubes around the waist of the kit can be a little annoying to assemble, with the little metal parts falling off while trying to get them all on there, but overall, not terrible. And on the black parts that go over the gold, it can be a little hard to work with because if you're not careful, they can cause some stress marks while trying to put them into place, so just exercise some caution and you should be fine. With all that being said, I didn't hate the build, and I can't lie, this is one good looking Sinanju. With that Takumi conversion kit being hard to come by at the moment, this is a great option for doing a custom paint job without the need to reverse wash the sleeves of a Bandai kit, while still getting that very over-designed and pointy look of that original conversion kit. Overall plastic quality is good, and undergating on the rest of the kit is very passable. Not the best build experience, but far from the worst. Now onto some size comparisons. The 1100 Red Comet comes in at a head height of 23 centimeters or 9.06 inches. Here it is next to our last video, the Fat Cat 100 RG 2.0 RX-78-2. The Master Grade Zaku 2, the Real Grade Sazabi, the Nighthawk Spec 2, and the 1100 Asgard. Alright, so starting off the accessories, we have some hands, and here we have a pair of closed fist hands, and each of these hands uses the same posable thumb. Got a pair of widespread dynamic hands, and a pair of weapon holding hands. Up here we have the backpack, and we can see we got tons of those chrome thrusters on here. We got these fuel tanks down here, which can move. They're on a ball joint, and these do have a bit of separation gimmick to them. Pop that open, and just like that, close those back up. We can move these around, and these have a little gimmick where you can open up this, and it's going to extend out the thrusters, and we can pull up this little part here, have those in like splayed mode. Close that back down. And to get this onto the kit, there he is. You got this little plug here on the back, and you're gonna put it in there, and then it slots in. You got to push down on it, and it can support the weight of the backpack just fine. We get the beam rifle with some nice green clear pieces for the sights. And this does have a couple of gimmicks to it. Like this grenade launcher part comes off. And we can take this. And we can just tap it into the shield. Like so. And then when you're not using this, we can come back here. Okay. The backpack is in my way. There we go. You can open up this little slot here on the back. And we just kind of like put this in there and clamp that over it. Go back down there. Oh. There you go. That's how we store the beam rifle. And this will come into play in a little bit because there's more things we can do with this. We get 2 of these beam axe effects. Not effects. We do have effects part for them, but we're not there yet. We can sit here and we can slide that up. And we get 2 different kinds of effects for these. We have a longer one here, in which these are literally just going to snap in like that. So we have that, but there is also a shorter one for more beam tomahawk style. And I'll go ahead and show how to attach weapons into the hands using these, since they only have one set of weapon holding hands. And it is the more annoying style where we have to completely disassemble the hand. So we gotta plug that into the palm. Slide the fingers on. Like so, then kind of like hold it all together. And get the the back plate to the hand. Boom. And there we go. And that's how you equip all the weapons into the hands. It goes in the exact same way. You have to disassemble the hand, plug the weapon handle into the peg, and clamp it all back together. But you do get 2 of these, and you can combine them, these little pegs here, like that. You can get a dual-bladed effect. Take that off. Because you get another short one and another long one. And there you go. And something nice they did with the beam effect parts on this kit is that the nubs on the runner were in here where you attach it to. So there's no visible nubs on the clear plastic. So, very good. But let's go ahead and get this disassembled here. Pop the hand back apart. You know, as we do. Then we can go ahead and collapse these back down. And we can take these, we take them up and put them like this. Make that in there. Like so. And you can store them on the back of the shield. Or we can untab this arm right here, and we can put them down like so. Turn that back, and we can move these down like this and drop that naturally. That's what we do. Peg back down there. And then our beam saber effect parts here. And this, man, this still just doesn't look right. What am I? Now, I still feel like I'm doing something wrong. It just doesn't look right. But no, I did the instructions right. I'm looking at them right now. Like, you see what I mean? Like, I feel like it should be more flush. But there's nothing for them to, like, peg into, sadly. Like, to keep pushed up against the shield. But, yeah, there we go. You can have the beam axe activated on the shield, just like, you know, the Sazabi can. Yeah. We get 2 beam saber handles and effect parts. This is your standard little beam saber handle. And when these are not in use, we can bring our model kit over here. These back parts of the arms come off. And these literally just slide in the back of the arm here. Try to get this while still keeping it in frame. Boom. There we go. Just slides in there. And it's these 3 beam sabers. Here we have the shield, which features the same great part separation of the black and gold on it. It's pretty simple. This is literally like 3 pieces right here for the main body of the shield. And there's a couple different ways we can attach this to the kit. The first one and the simplest is just going to be to tap it here to the back of the arm, like so. And we can move that around on its little ball joint there. Or we can attach that off, and then we're going to take off that part right there. Then up underneath the shoulder here, we have, sort of like to pop off. We got this little arm that we can swing out. And that's going to plug in right here. Like so. Get right there. And we can have it hanging off the shoulder. We get a bazooka with a little extendable barrel. The handle here can fold down. And same thing with this. You can store this in the same little butt grabber here. And we can take this and combine it with the beam rifle. So we need to take off the scope here. We take off this stuff here from the rocket launcher. And we tap in. How does this work? Take this off. We put on this side, like so. We take that, turn this over here. So this is how professional I am. This is my first time doing this transformation. Then we can take there and tab this in. Like so. Grab this part and plug it back here into the side like that. That part's all together. And we take this and we plug it in. I think. There we go. Just like that. It's not like the snuggest fit. You can see here, you can kind of easily get it to wobble off. So, I'm going to recommend you glue that in. Let me take this. Alright, sorry about that, guys. This weapon just does not hold together the best. So you definitely want to get some glue if you tend to like, because I want to keep it in this mode because it's my preferred mode, honestly. Why are you not going on there now? There we go. It's fiddly. But there we go. We got this in this mode, which is my favorite. I just wish it held together a little better. We're going to attempt to get the hand on because this adds a lot of weight. There. Hand pegged on. Get the fingers in there. Get this plugged back together. Locked in. Get the sight. Get that re-tabbed in. Then finally, grab the hand. Oh well, but you can see that the kit can indeed support the weapon with the added weight because the joints on this kit are fairly tight. The shoulders here keep popping off. So, I don't know. We'll save my aggravation for the ending part of the video. I'm gonna line these up, snap all of it. Yeah, that's okay. You can just come off for now. It's fine. And it's coming apart already again. My favorite to the weapon. So I want to see if it can... Oh, it's always the small things that aggravate me. Oh, man. And the short... Oh. And last, we have our sheet of waterslide decals. I didn't use any of these because it's already a very noisy design. I feel like this would just be too much. And it's a bunch of tiny little, just marking decals. So, I mean, if you like that, go for it. But me personally, I like the look clean as it is at the moment. Alright, guys, here we are for the articulation. I'm going to do my best here because he's got some problems, okay? As far as we do have some good head articulation here that, well, I just beheaded him. But yeah, decent head articulation, can look up a pretty good distance, look down. We get a full 360 here at the arm. The shoulders can move, the shoulder pads can move independently, but as you can see, they just pop off. When you start messing with them, they pop off. We can move the little armor tab here on the side with the thrusters. We get some that pops off too because you need to glue this part down so you can actually use the armor moving gimmick when you want. But you get it. You get the idea. We get some... It's okay, we're just going to add to the part total that you get. Like I said, you get some rotation here at the bicep. We do get a pretty good double jointed elbow here. The little sleeve part up here is on a ball joint for the wrist. As we saw before, the armor plates here on the back of the arm move to restore the beam sabers. We get a 360 waist spin, but the pipes do get in the way. We get a little bit of a crunch here. We do get a little opening hatch mechanic there. There is a pilot figure. We get some pretty good front skirt movement here. And these can even open up a little bit to show some underlaying parts. Like so. The side skirt's pretty limited because the hose is right here on top of it. But we can move the back skirt up pretty far, and it has the same hatch opening gimmick there. Now for the spooky part. We get a rotation here at the leg. It can go up pretty far and back. And we even get a good knee bend with some armor separation gimmicks here. And the part that scares me is stretching it out, because you can see here it just flexes. And I honestly already sanded it. I'm not going to force it more than it already is, as I have in like the neutral, leg spread apart pose here, because I don't want to break that peg. Again, I'm heavily going to suggest you get a metal frame for this kit. We do get some decent foot movement here with some little toe bend. Coming it down, up, and a really good side to side here. These parts can fall apart. Extends out that much right there, and we can bend that over. It's supposed to say, okay. Okay. Part shedding central. There's some cool little thrusters here on the back of the leg, and I almost forgot there is a movable piston here on the back of the foot as well. So that's very nice. But yeah, it's our very lackluster articulation segment, just because this kit is more for, just standing and looking good, which it does great, standing and looking good. When it comes to posing and whatnot, it kind of falls apart, sadly. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that fell off during articulation. Honestly, I feel like it's been a while since we've had that happen. So I'm gonna get them put back together and slide over for the little fancy turntable shots while we go over what I think about the kit. Alright guys, here we are at the end of the review, and what are my final thoughts on the Comet Technologies Red Comet 1100? Man, if you want a relatively affordable, good-looking Sinanju that you don't have to paint necessarily out of the box, and you just want to stand there and look good, I would still recommend it. But if you're wanting to really pose it up, that might be a problem, especially considering there is no action base included with this kit and no action base adapter for a Bandai action base. So you would need some kind of third-party universal action base with the little pinchers that go around its waist. And just the build, when it's just sitting there, it's fine. Everything holds on there. It's when you start touching it, when you start moving things around, is whenever the problems start with this kit. I even forgot to mention that the rocket launcher can mount on the shield as well. I'm sorry, I was really aggravated with this, and a bunch of life stuff's been going on too. But I've glued the gun together in its combined mode with the rocket launcher, since that's how I want to display it. And like I said, when it's sitting there all together, looks great, but it does have its problems. So, final verdict, if you want to save the money and not get the actual conversion kit that this kit is based off of in a metal frame / Bandai Sinanju kit, pick up this one. I would still heavily recommend hunting down that Iron Toys metal frame for this kit because, man, those hip joints scare me. But that's enough for me today. I apologize for the kind of like melancholy feel of the video. I was really frustrated towards the end of recording this during the articulation stuff, and parts just kept flying off. It's really been a while since we've had a kit do this, which, I mean, it's kind of to be expected. This isn't like an era or established brand. This is just someone coming in making a kit based off an already established design of a resin kit. So, you know, it's so-so. But until next time, guys, y'all take care.